Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. And we have got Xena in the upper right, but I think I'm actually going to rewind. I just want to take a second and look at that initial drone split by Xena. That is a very well programmed drone split. I need to get my bot doing that as well. And taking on Xena here today, we have got WickedBot in what is a bot author recommended replay. So it should be a good one. We've got Xena playing Zerg, and that is one of its more scary races. So we'll just see how well WickedBot is going to handle that today, as it is a very promising Terran bot that likes to play bio, and we'll just see if it's going to be able to contend with Xena's scary macro. And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead, click that like button if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches, as I certainly enjoy casting them. And then subscribe if you're not already subscribed, as we put out daily bot videos. I heard someone ranting the other day. I honestly can't remember where. Basically just saying that if you want your subscribe box to actually act as a subscribe box, hit that bell icon to get notified whenever I do put up a new video as well. I honestly can't remember who I heard that was ranting about that, but it was a good rant. And yeah, let's see, as we've got a Marine opening from the WickedBot with that command center on the way. And then we have got Xena going for a spawning pool. Hatchery about to finish up, pool about to finish up. And it did just say 3 hatch for the opening, I believe. As looks like Xena may have very limited data against WickedBot. Maybe the bot author reset the data. Maybe WickedBot and Xena don't face each other very much. As, of course, Xena and WickedBot generally is in a different division from Xena, although it is getting up there, I believe. So I get a feeling it probably was just Xena's bot author reset the data of the bot. With us going into a new season, new maps, new patch, that's definitely a realistic thing to do. Now we do have some injects going down as those queens are out, and then Ling speed on the way from Xena. WickedBot, meanwhile, just having a bunker at its natural, which is very nice to see, as bunkers are quite important for staying alive in the early game. I very rarely say, gee, that Terran shouldn't have built that bunker. Well, it's like they can just salvage it, and then they get the money back. So it definitely is worth it most of the time. Now, it looks like Xena is actually going for a bit of an aggressive Ling build. I guess I wasn't sure what build it actually was going to be, but this is very much a 2-base play from Xena. WickedBot is going to be really glad it built this bunker, as the Zerg bot is showing me what an actual good Zerg rushing bot can do, as it's just firing up a ton of Lings off 19 drones. Ling speed about to finish up. It's already pulled out of gas, and I imagine it will be going relatively soon, as it's already up to 36, just pumping these things out. Speed mining really does strengthen these rushes, and here we go, as these Lings are going to cross the map. WickedBot does have a bunker. It's got a decent amount of firepower in these Marines. 9 Marines against 44 Lings with a bunker. SCVs can definitely repair this. The Marines of WickedBot are getting surrounded. Some SCVs and a mule trying to repair the bunker, keep it alive. Some Marines even firing from the high ground, but the repair does seem good enough to keep this alive. Xena has some very interesting programming, as we see the Lings scatter but then decide to go back in. That's that combat simulator there, but in the end, WickedBot does indeed hold on. Well done. The losses were 9 SCVs, 4 Marines for 32 Lings, so not a bad trade for the Zerg. But I'm not sure that was enough damage, so we are going to have Xena potentially go for another round. It does say transitioning, so we may get something else coming out, and that something is a Roach Warren presently. We'll see if there's going to be a new hatchery or Anything else? In go these Lings once more, finding SCVs at the natural, kind of ignoring the bunker this time. So this will be some more economic damage getting done by Xena as it gets another 7 SCV kills. So now we've got 18 drones against 20 SCVs, which isn't terrible for the Zerg, as the third hatchery does also get thrown down. And yeah, that is a lot of dead SCVs for WickedBot. The Blue Terran bot may just start floating a bit of gas here, as it is mining with 6 SCVs on gas, but not that many mining minerals, although it does have 2 mules going, so it may be able to sustain that. And yeah, let's see here, as WickedBot does get that SCV count back up. We are getting some medivacs on the way. There was a stim on all the bio of WickedBot by Xena's Lings, which is quite nice, as that does take a lot of HP out of WickedBot's army. The Blue Terran is going up in the SCV count, whereas Xena is just squeezing out a few extra drones now. Getting that third hatchery up was expensive. It did invest in a few roaches. Now it's getting out drones, which, I mean, Xena is a very good bot when it comes to macros. So those drones are being produced. Its economy should be shooting up. Some of the bio is moving forward once again, trying to chase these Lings. This is the kind of thing you can do if your bot is programmed well enough, because if it just keeps poking WickedBot, we very well may see WickedBot stim yet again, which could be quite painful. The Lings actually do decide to take the engagement this time, which is interesting. The roaches are coming in, and that bio was very injured from the stim, so it does all go down. Xena loses all its Lings, but WickedBot loses a good chunk of bio as well. The Zerg bot is making more Lings, more roaches. What an aggressive match here. The lair is about to finish up, which means those overlords will also be able to start dropping creep soon. So I'm curious if Xena will send some of those out to aid with the creep spread soon or not. But yeah, all in all, Xena has kept a lot of pressure on its opponent. There is no burrow for these roaches, which is fairly rare. WickedBot does a good job picking its units up into its medivacs and heading on home. Production is not crazy for either of these bots, so every unit kind of matters at this point. WickedBot unloads its bio, starts skirmishing with Xena once again. Getting roach kills must feel pretty good for WickedBot, seeing as how these roaches usually are indestructible when there's burrow, so I'm curious if we will get burrow from Xena at some point. For now, the Red Zerg is just keeping pace with the Terran economically, as it's 38 drones to 41 SCVs, so it is in favor of the two-basing Terran. WickedBot is getting some nice trades with its bio. The lack of burrow really is hurting these roaches. WickedBot even drops a scan, maybe going to get that creep tumor. However, Xena does just keep engaging, and that's not really good for Xena. WickedBot took some really nice trades there. The scan does kill off some of those creep tumors. Another roach is taken down. The creep is continuing to spread for Xena, but Xena really does need to, I think, transition a little bit harder. Get out some more workers, get up some higher tech, some upgrades, that kind of thing, because these roaches just are not going to cut it. As Xena moves forward with its roaches once again, we see WickedBot's very good biomicro, though, just stutter, stepping back and back and back to minimize any damage it takes. And, I mean, bio does actually outrange roaches. For those of you that didn't know, it's 4 roaches to 4 range on a roach, for 5 range on a marine, 6 for a marauder. So in theory, with perfect micro, the bio can do pretty well against just roaches. That's why roaches generally, when they engage, they surge forward as they have to close that distance. Now Xena simply doesn't have the numbers it needs, I think, to keep taking these fights, but it shall keep trying, as WickedBot does just gobble up these roaches. The lack of burrow, I think, is just a massive problem for Xena. It's a critical upgrade, basically. It's not in regular StarCraft 2, but in bot games it is. It's like not having stim on your bio, or, I don't know, speed on your Zerglings. It's just that important. Now, we do have Xena actually pulling some drones into this fight. There's Queens helping out this time, as the Terran bot does step on to creep. It's a bit of a better fight for the Zerg bot, but still not perfect, thanks to WickedBot's +1 attack. The Blue Terran does have a third base up behind this, and Xena is just frantically trying to hold on in this prolonged match here. Yeah, once again, we see roaches fighting the bio. The bio just pulls back as soon as the roaches turn to fight. Otherwise, then it pursues them. So really good micro from WickedBot. Another scan getting dropped to deal with some of this creep. The Terran is pushing closer and closer towards the Zerg's hatchery. Xena doesn't have that much production, doesn't have that many units. It's even pulling drones into the fight once again. Although things are looking quite promising here for a WickedBot, as I'm not sure Xena will be able to hold on in this one. And so well done to WickedBot as it pushes forward, dropping scans to take care of the creep. And then we do have the bio getting on top of the hatchery. Drones afraid to fight, afraid to stay there and mine though. And yeah, I would be curious if Xena incorporated Burrow into this build, but it has yet to do that. And then we have got, yeah, WickedBot stimming forward. So we are going to have a micro battle after this one, ladies and gentlemen, to round out the video. And so, yeah, I'll just do the spiel now as everything does get cleaned up. Xena goes for a Hydra Den, a little bit too late, I think, as WickedBot is going for the kill. Yeah, so the spiel anyway. Click that like button if you guys haven't already. If you want to see more cheesy Xena games or WickedBot games, let me know in the comments down below. If not, just comment more bots if you want to see more bots in general. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and big thanks to everyone that does support using that join button down below and to become a YouTube member. Well done to WickedBot here, as it played quite a nice game. Its bio is always really fun to watch, as there's not a lot of Terran bots that group bio as well as WickedBot. It plays kind of human, in a sense, in the way that it plays, just with its bio grouping. I think we used to have another bot that played somewhat similar. Maybe it was like GenCBot or something. GRPBot. I can't quite recall. It was a long time ago, but WickedBot definitely is carrying that flame. So we shall see as we'll load into the micro battle after this. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with a ZVP micro battle. That means Zealots and Lings, the classic units, starting off with Muravev Micro P. MVP, MMP. Okay, clearly I'm out to lunch on that one. But then we've got Micro C, so we've got MMP versus MC. As the Zerg does indeed take that first one. The numbers are a little tough for the Protoss bot, as generally 3-1 is what Zerg wants, and the Zerg does have more units than that. Injured Lings should be getting pulled back to avoid taking more damage. It is reasonably close, this one, though, as the Zealot is hacking and slashing, but Cannon does come out on top of that one. We've now got non-upgraded Stalkers versus non-upgraded Roaches on creep. The Stalkers are pulling back for Muravev Micro, however. Roaches on creep do get that speed boost, so they are closing the gap. Some of them do get sort of sectioned off to the side, though, so that doesn't go too well for them. One injured Stalker fighting 2 Roaches. The numbers are thinning out for the Protoss, though, and I think the split just didn't quite go the way that Muravev needed. 1 Stalker versus 4 Roaches. It could pop off that injured one, but it doesn't quite target that down. And so, well done. Cannon are really taking a lead in this one, as we will have our rematch now as the Protoss wanders forward. That may actually be good for it, giving it some more distance to retreat. Roaches stepping forward for Cannon. Unsurprising that Cannon micro is good, seeing as how the Zerg bot routinely takes engagements with Roaches surging forward. 2 Stalkers on the north do well for themselves, though. And now Muravev is going to take this one. So putting a point on the board here as the Stalkers do win. It did need that extra distance to retreat, I think. Might have been what played in there. We've got Banelings now against Stalkers and Zealots. The Stalkers are retreating. The Zealots are having a very bad time, as all but one of them goes down to the Banelings pretty much right away, which will make life difficult for the Stalkers. However, if the rest of them can shoot while one of them retreats, it might not be all bad. However, it's kind of retreating the wrong way, so the other 2 Stalkers are missing some shots, but still, the numbers aren't bad for the Protoss here, as we see 2 Stalkers against 5 Lings. That should be good for the Stalkers. And it does look like that Muravev will put another point on the board, 2-3 now, as we have a rematch. The Zealots moving forward, and this one actually went way better for Muravev, as the Zealots didn't even die as quickly. So I think the Protoss is going to tie this up, as Lings are good against Stalkers sort of per cost, but this is not enough numbers for the Zerg. So now we've got Roaches and Speedlings taking on Adepts and Stalkers. Lings moving forward, trying to get a wraparound, close the distance. The Lings do take care of one Adept. Another Adept to the north does go down, so now it is just the Stalkers, once again, really the MVPs of Protoss. Who'd have thought? Stalkers are the best unit to micro when it comes for Protoss. 4 Roaches against 3 Stalkers. The Stalkers have a lot of room to retreat, though. One of those Stalkers is injured, getting pushed back. They will run into this corner as well, so it's reasonably close here, but I think the Stalkers have got it. As, yeah, Muravev wins that round. And now we have got a rematch, the Protoss wandering forward. Roaches do take the front, so going to buffer some of the damage. Lings then surge forward as everything for the Protoss starts retreating. And that's really where the Protoss bot gets its efficiency. This is how the best Protoss bots win with their micro, like -0, just pulling back constantly, not taking any more damage than it needs to. And then the unit split is just good enough for the toss. So, yeah. Muravev going to at least have a tie for this one, as it is a best of 10, so there is a technical tie possibility here. We are on creep now. Queens and Roaches. The Queen should be able to transfuse for Canonana, which will be quite important. We'll see if it actually drops that, but not dropping any transfuse yet presently isn't great for Micro Canonana, as that means the Roaches are dying quicker, which means less damage. Then the Blink Stalker's just blinking all over the place for Muravev, keeping the injured ones alive. And I think this is a bit of an oversight in the development of Micro Canonana, not having that transfuse threshold be met. I'm not sure what the Queens save their energy for with Canonana usually. So I think without the transfuse being used, that Muravev will indeed win this one. We see that great kiting back. The Roaches don't have speed, and then they just don't have the numbers without being transfused. If they were being transfused, there'd be more DPS and just, well, more damage overall to soak, but in the end, it's not going to happen without that. So a bit unfortunate, and very well done by Muravev. Definitely the microbot to watch for now, as it takes 7-3 after losing the first few maps.